Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. Pastor Brian here with another quick bite, living the Word. Today our word is going to come from Romans chapter 12 and verses 1 and 2. And we've talked about these verses before, but the reason why I want to talk about that today is because I realize there's somewhat of a, I can't think the right word is, but anyway, a disease in our thinking. That's the best way I can come up with in the church today. So let me just read these verses to you, then I'll come back and talk about what I'm talking about here. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Now, what I love about this is this. A lot of us get that first part right. I mean, a lot of us strive to get that first part right, where it says there to present ourselves a living sacrifice. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy unto the Lord, holy and acceptable unto God. A lot of us do that. We try our best to spend time doing things for the Lord, working for the Lord, whatever the case may be, going to church as the case may be, all these things like this. A lot of us do a good job of trying to do that and focusing on that part of it. But there's something that's interesting to me about this that we kind of leave off of this equation, leave off of this formula. And that is the fact that we also are supposed to be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. In other words, here's the point. We're supposed to change our minds from worldly thinking to godly thinking. Now, here's the difficulty in that. It's not difficult when we yield to the Spirit, but the difficulty is this, is we spent so many years, each one of us has spent so many years thinking like the world has trained us to think. Whether it was through our parents, whether it was through through even sometimes our churches, or whether it was sometimes even just through our schooling, or just through ourselves and our readings and the shows we watched and everything like this. We spent so many years teaching and training our minds how we're supposed to think, our worldview, if you would, by those things, what we're supposed to believe and how we're supposed to think. And now, to retrain our mind, we have to what? Be conformed to God, not conformed to this world. We have to now be renewed in God, not just by the Spirit of God, but literally by the pouring in of new information. It's kind of like this. If you don't know it, you have to discover it. You have to learn it. You don't just make it up. Well, here's the problem. People go, I can't overcome this. I can't, and I can't change this behavior, and I can't. Well, here's the point. You can't change the behavior as long as you don't change the way you think about that behavior. So what I mean by that is this: is that I can't change. Let's say, for example, I'm an alcoholic. I can't change my view on, I can't change my alcoholism. I can't give up alcohol. I can't overcome that until I change my view on alcohol. How dangerous it is. Maybe not to everyone, but at least to me. How dangerous it is, how wicked it is, how evil it is. I need to change how I think about alcohol. I don't look at it anymore as it's just something to calm me down, relaxing kind of thing when I'm an alcoholic. That's the point. We have to change, be transformed, renewed in our minds. Change the way you think about things. So my point this morning is very simple. Maybe you're having a struggle in your life in a certain area. Well, look at your life and decide how you actually feel about that. How do you actually feel about that compared to how God feels about that? And start to look at it and change your thinking about it. Lord, I hate. Lord, I despise alcohol. Lord, I despise drugs. Lord, I despise lying. Lord, I despise greed, or whatever the case may be in your life. Lord, I need to look at how I hate these things the way you hate them. So that why? So that I can be transformed in my mind. I can start to now have the mind of God in me, so I can overcome through Him. I hope that encourages you today and challenges you. I love you. We love you. God loves you. And God's got this.